Hi guys, look, little man is back. So this morning I was talking with a friend of mine on Instagram. We were chatting on Instagram and we were going, like, sharing back and forth some babies that we really were loving and a couple I was going gaga for. Not babies that are available, but you know, how much I'd been in love with this baby and that baby and this one's my favorite and all of that. And then I walked in the room to get something and Niklaus was still sitting in the bouncy chair from our video last night and he literally took my breath away. See if I can capture the angle when I walked in. Was something like that. Anyway, and I thought, man, how could I wish for anything more than what I have in my collection? And she was telling me how she's been feeling like really a lot of gratitude for what she has lately, and I really agree and appreciate that. And so I thought, I'm gonna just take some time and appreciate what I have and share a little bit of what I appreciate about each baby that I have right now. And we're in front of a big picture window. It's overcast, but we have a lot of light coming in. So I'm gonna see if I can capture some of his details. So I just opened the curtains as wide as they will go. And I'm gonna see what picks up in the camera here. So first of all, one thing that I love about this guy is his size. He's a very small newborn. He's an 18-inch doll, and he's just like a little itty bitty pipsqueak. I talked about it last night, and I talk about it a lot, but his little rosy knees, that's definitely a feature that I fell in love with when I saw the original Atticus that Wendy Graham had painted, and she was able to include that with my doll. Let's see if I can pick up any of his mottling on the camera here. There's a lot of it, but it's all tastefully done. And the veining. I also love when he props his, let's see if I can do it one-handed. Sometimes he props up so his little knees are close together. I love when artists do red on the palms and then they do the pink fingertips and knuckles, and it's pale in between. I love his hair. I love his hair color. I love his chubby cheeks, and I love how he has a different look depending on what angle he's at. My favorite look with him is when he looks like a little curious little boy. I love that he looks pensive, and I love that he looks timeless. I love the way that the shadows catch his face and give him dimension. He just has a sweetness about him. He looks like a little chunker from this angle. He's got little rosy elbows also. Beautiful detail on his arms. Let's see if we can catch any of the stuff that's on his face. It's a little tough with the lighting, but you can see he has a translucent skin and a lot of rosiness. All right, I'm going to bring out another baby, but thanks for appreciating this guy. I know he was just the star of the video last night. We spent a lot of time looking at him while I talked. So he's going to go back to bed. And so we're going in order of seniority here, it looks like. So Charlie is the doll that I've had in my collection, the second longest behind Niklaus. And what do I not appreciate about this girl? Well, looking at her from this angle, I can tell you I appreciate that her nose is opened, so is Niklaus's. I do love that. Some artists will open the nose and back it with a dark blue or a black felt to give the, you know, the shadow back there. I love her sculpting by Bonnie Brown. all of the different ways that her limbs fold together and fall give her incredible realism and movement. The sculpted detail on her hands and feet and ankles are incredible. Again, we have the red on the palms and the tips of the fingers. I love her little ears, her personality, her sweetness and grumpiness together, because that's me. And I love her funky, funky hair. Reminds me of Billie Jean in The Legend of Billie Jean from the 80s. When she cut it all off and she said, "Fair is fair." Yeah. So I'm going to change her back into another look. Another thing that I love about this baby is her versatility of look. You can see she's very pinked out, very girly here. She looks adorable and precious, even with her little short hair. And then she's also a total funky, like, tomboy rocker babe. And that's my favorite kind of girl. I love her in just tights. That's actually one of my favorite looks for a little girl, is tights and a t-shirt. And with this one, I'm definitely not alone. I know that a lot of you love Charlie. There are times, because her painting is a little bit more minimalistic, I would say, that that she can look very dolly-like. And there are times where I'm like, well, should I quote unquote upgrade? And she's the one who brings me back to remembering that it's not about striving, for me, it's a balance. It is and it isn't about striving for, this highest level something. Like, the highest level of realism is definitely something that I go for, but yet it's also a matter of the heart, which that's the part that takes me back to my childhood, is like the ability to attach true emotion and connection to this like companion that you had as a child. And back then my dolls did not look as realistic as this. I had one anatomically correct doll. He was a little boy. Ironically, I named him Michael. Very ironic. And I cared for that baby like he was real, and I felt like he was real. I'm sorry if you hear my dogs yelping in the background, but after I started this process, they decided they wanted to come in, and they've been in the mud, so they're going to have to wait because I have to go out and wash them. So Charlie's realism for me comes a lot from her sculpting, the artist's interpretation of this sculpt, and the personality that she created with the hair and with the painting style that she chose, and just the personality. So I love her in the tights and the shirt. I do. I think I'm going to take the tights off. We're going to take her the total other direction, away from the girly pink. And also appreciate her beautiful sculpting. She could use a new diaper. And we're gonna do that. Okay, she's all changed, guys. I closed the shears on the window hoping that it would help. She's showing up very yellow. So I just want to take down some of the brashness of the direct light for her. She definitely has a little bit more of a yellow undertone, but nowhere near how it's picking up on here. So anyway, let's see if we can just appreciate a little bit of the detail close up. There's the feet with the fabulous wrinkles and the splayed toes and the bent ankle. Gives so much movement. And the way she's painted with the very red feet and toes. The lighting is not great. And her little red hands and fingertips. See how there's just so many things that you can do, and like mood and personality or action that you can convey with this baby. Yeah, so that's Charlie girl. We love her. Love that baby. Manifested that baby to come home for sure. Okay, now we're gonna go get your sister. Of course, this girl needs no introduction. We have sweet baby Sparrow here. She's my full body silicone, obviously. And in terms of appreciation, I feel like I talk a lot about what I appreciate about her. Come a little closer. You can see the camera trying to get the color, the lighting accurate or the color accurate, but so I love her softness. She feels like baby skin. I love her rosiness, her skin tone. I love the features of her silicone where she wrinkles. This bed sinks in the middle, so it gives her wrinkles on the belly. I love her sweet little face like that, and her mouth, the details of her mouth are incredible. I love her little pierced ears, her recently discovered little fat knees. Of course, I now love her beautiful hair. And I love this bone structure here and the little subtle wrinkles in her brow or her forehead above her eyebrows. And I love her little belly button, and I really love her back. I'm not going to lay her completely flat in here because she'll be leaning way down, but maybe I can. I love the wrinkles in her back, both the sculpted wrinkles as well as the wrinkles in her silicone. The mailman must think I'm crazy. He just came up by the big window. You can hear the dogs barking at him. I love everything about this girl, and it's really amazing that I was able to have the opportunity to have her as my first silicone. I mean, this is a really good doll, and one that I just had that heart connection to. I really had no concept of how much she cost when I fell in love with her, so it wasn't about that. The mailman's back up on my porch right in front of my window. I'm right in front of it with this naked baby. It's so funny. You hear the dogs going nuts. Oh my goodness. I could just look at her. I could just look at her all day. All day. And as you see, I took that gorgeous outfit off of her so that I could do just that and just appreciate her in her raw form. I love this baby. So today, she's just going to wear a bib, with a couple little birdies on it, Mommy's little sweetie, because as you guys know, she is my little bird. There's a song by Ed Sheeran that I put a clip of in an Instagram story with her. It's how I found that song, and every time I listen to it, I think about her. She's got kind of her own little theme song. Mommy's little sweetie. We're gonna put her little purple passy. It's a modified passy. The nipple is very big on this, so I just cut it. It's purple with a gold heart in the middle. And I feel gratitude every time I look at this doll, for sure. Yeah. This is my baby. Absolutely. Okay, and there's only one more left in the gang. We're gonna go get Mr. Silas. Here's the last little guy in our crew. He's the newest one. And I definitely wanted this sculpt for a long time. And ironically, he turned out looking much different than the original one that I fell in love with, because he has much, you know, more blondish features. But he is such a cutie pie, and he really kind of embodies, I think, the innocence of what I think my husband was as a baby. He borrowed his brother's blue sleeper the other night, and we're gonna get him into something else. Now, I've got two outfits that I'm thinking of for him. Let's make sure that this tripod doesn't fall. So he's either gonna go in this Fixani jumper with a little blue tee underneath, or long sleeve shirt. I guess he could just wear the white under it also. I have to see how well that's covering. He has 3/4 arms. But it might be cute to be able to see his arms. Or I have this little piece that I had gotten that Niklaus wore. It's a little knit robot set. So cute. Way more of a photo prop though, and I think we just want him to be classic baby. So we'll just go ahead and change him, fix his hair, and we'll talk about a couple of the cool things about this guy. Every single one of these babies has an entirely different painting style as well. They're all from different sculptors. That first baby, Thomas Niklaus, he was sculpted by Laura Lee Eagles. That's the Atticus sculpt. And the second baby was my Charlie. She is the Sally sculpt by Bonnie Brown. Sparrow is the Nova sculpt by Lilianne Breedveld. And Silas, or Little Man Pope, as I call him, is the Will sculpt by Natalie Scholl. And maybe what we'll do is look at some of his details up close before I put his outfit on. It's going to dampen his hair just a little bit. I'm just kind of letting the mist fall on his head. Sorry. I got your whole face all wet. Oh my goodness, give me a moment, guys. That was very poor judgment. He's okay. He looks so cute in this little white onesie. I'm gonna grab the brush. Just want you to see him from different angles. I know that camera angle up there is limited. Of course, there hasn't been a shortage of featuring this little bub since he came home either. He got his little new baby extended airtime. I love that this sculpt is not seen very often. I think that it stands out every time I see one. I kind of feel that way about the Sally sculpt as well. I love when I come across a sculpt that I'm like, oh, what is that? You look very proper. All right. Let's come down. I know we did a details video on him not too long ago. I love his furrowed brow. I love his sucked in lower lip and his little pudgy cheeks. And depending on what angle you look at him, you can see more or less of those wrinkles. I love that little double chin. He looks so vulnerable. Again, the features on the fingers with the lighter in the middle and the pink fingertips and palms. Love that. I love the expression, the expressiveness in his hands and in his feet. I think it brings life to the sculpt. He just looks like I said, vulnerable and needy and innocent. I enjoy his 3/4 arms, and I have no reason why I do. Maybe just because it's something a little bit different. I've had that before. He is much more rosy and pale. He looks a little yellow like Charlie did in this lighting, but he's not. Let's see if I can... When it's summertime, we'll get some beautiful sun, even full-scale spring day, we'll get some good direct sunlight. So here's his feet. Look at these splayed toes. One straight leg, one bent leg, and chunky little bent roll. I love that. To me, he is all boy. And he is the most babyish of my babies. He looks the youngest. Even though he's not the smallest, he looks the youngest. Look how precious. Okay, so we're gonna pop back on and get him dressed. All right, so we're gonna get this cute fix-on-y outfit on him that I've had since I started collecting. It's been listed in numerous sales and nobody wants to buy it, and so I think it's meant to be mine, and I actually think that this baby's gonna rock it. Now, the only question is, yeah, I think if we just leave the white onesie, the short sleeve onesie underneath, it's gonna be a little bit more babyish than if we try to put this long sleeve blue shirt. And I really love the white for him, so even though we're introducing color in the jumper itself, we'll still have that white contrast on his skin. And so this baby's got a lot of sentimental value, not just to me, but also to my family, because he was introduced as sort of a portrait baby for Michael, my husband, and call him my husband, my guy. And so there's a different acceptance of him, I think. This sculpt is very, very rare. I happen to know where I can get another kit, and I can tell you that the hoarder part of me, the part of me that feels that I need to snatch something up while I can, is so tempted to secure that kit. Just because, I don't know, just in case, I don't know. But I really don't need a second one. It's got such a distinct look, I wouldn't want twins. And the Jaden sculpt, which was Natalie Scholl's second sculpt, reborn sculpt, it was actually made to be, so the twin, the sleeping twin of this baby. So we're just gonna see how I like this outfit to fall on him. How much of the white I want to show. I'm gonna just get the back of his hair smoothed down a little bit. He's got very fine hair, very fuzzy hair. He looks really cute in this. He just looks like just a little boy, which of course he is. Adorable. Let's see, oh, someone's walking dogs by outside. So my dogs, of course, are losing themselves. I also really love this little fold in the inner crook of his elbow. It's a really neat detail that I haven't noticed before in other dolls. It might be there in other sculpts, but Aw. Pope. So that's my last little guy. My little nugget. Yeah. So I love them all and appreciate them all. He's got a little baby rash over here on the side of his face. And I'm very, 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 very lucky reborn mama. So, my goodness, he does look cute in this outfit. Yes. All right, guys. So that's it. Thank you so much for stopping in, and hope you enjoyed visiting with the whole crew and felt a little bit of appreciation for all of the things that you've been blessed with also. And have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Sending out a lot of love to you guys. Bye for now.